Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. It's Christmas Day and just wanted to bring you an update on the primer test results that we had. This is round 2. I went shooting yesterday out at my brother's house, just trying to finish up, round 1 results. We had some really good groups coming out of round 1. Round 2, not so much in terms of group size, overall size of the groups, but we were pretty consistent on performance in terms of what we saw out of round 1. So out of round 1, let's recap. So the 8 primers that we tested overall, in the beginning we had the Federal Gold Medal Match, small rifle, the Federal small rifle number 205, the CCI small rifle 400, the CCI bench rest number 4, the Winchester small rifle primers, Remington small rifle 6.5, Remington small rifle 7.5 bench rest, and the Federal AR gold medal match. So the 4 that performed the best coming out of round 1, or at least in my opinion the best, we had the Federal Gold Medal Match, the Federal Small Rifle number 205, the CCI Small Rifle 400, and the Winchester Small Rifle. So those gave us the smallest groups. Didn't necessarily give the highest velocities. Those were the 2 Remington primers actually gave the highest velocities on average. And then third was the Winchester Small Rifle. So that one made it to round 2. And so then here we are, round 2. I'm making a YouTube video. You want to come tell everybody Merry Christmas? You don't want to tell everybody Merry Christmas? My daughter, she's over there finishing up, finishing up, opening up Christmas presents. I tell you what, you've been opening them now for forever, it seems like. But just wanted to jump on here and make a real quick follow-up on the results video there for round 2. So starting top left in the shot here, basically we kept everything in order for the most part. We've got, go back to my notes, we got Federal Gold Medal Match, then the next target is the Federal Small Rifle 205, the third one is the CCI SR 400, the Small Rifle 400, and then the last one is the Winchester. Now on the Winchester, don't pay any attention to these 2 right there, okay? They just eliminate those 2 in your mind as you're watching this and as I'm going over it. Eliminate those top 2. That is from a group directly to the right of that, and that is going to be in my next video. That's a follow-up on the load development for the 55 grain, the Hornady 55 grain soft point SX bullet that I loaded up on at Cabela's when they were running a really good sale on them. So don't pay attention to the top 2, that one and that one. Eliminate that. So these are the 5 shots from the Winchester. So all these are 5-shot groups. The groups weren't as tight. I didn't really have a good day on the range in my opinion. I've shot much better than this. So I feel like it was mostly me. It wasn't the bullet, wasn't, we're shooting Barnes 69 grain boat tail match, the match burner. These guys, whoops, those guys. So we're shooting the match burner, and yeah, it's just, it was me yesterday. I didn't have a good day at the range, or a good day over at my brother's house shooting out at the homestead there. So we'll start with the Federal Gold Medal Match, the target on the far left. These are 2-inch targets, by the way, 2-inch dots, whatever you want to call them, that I was shooting at. The group measured just under an inch, so 0.966 is what we came up with. And then if we'll go back and we'll reference the very first round of results that we had a really tight group with 4 of the 5 shots on the first round, which is why I wanted to give it another shot, because 4 of the shots were in there real tight, and then we had one just kind of oddball flyer on the first round. So I wanted to test it again on the second round. The first round group was 1.24 inches. This one 0.966. So improvement, but didn't improve a whole lot. And again, that was mostly me, or at least I feel like it was mostly me. Next up, well, we'll let you guys know what the velocity was. Oh yeah, and again, so on my next video, the one for the 55 grain, I'll speak to it a little more in depth. Didn't have a good day, just in general overall with the chronograph, and I was running out of daylight, running out of time. I was trying to get all this done, trying to get all this shooting done. Just had a lot of issues overall. So, but whatever. Let's see. So I did get chronograph data for these 4 5-shot groups though. So for the federal gold medal match, let's see, pull it up here on my Caldwell app on my phone. Let's see, out of the 5 shots, so our average velocity was 2344. It's not too bad, but we did have an extreme spread of 80. So that was kind of, that threw us for a loop there. We had, our low end was our 5th shot. It was 2308 on velocity, 2308 feet per second. And then on the high end was 2388. So I mean, you know, you had 2308, 2314, 2337, and then you had 2 that were considerably higher at 2375 and 2388. So that kind of threw everything out of whack. Standard deviation was way up there at 35.9, basically 36. An extreme spread of 80. So that kind of, not really good results there. And if you go back and double check the first round, it's more or less the same story. I mean, average velocity of 2367 on the first round with the federal gold medal match, and extreme spread of 115. So I don't know what was going on there, but that was the one where we had one shot that was 100 feet, basically 100 feet per second over the next well, it was about 80 over the next highest one, but still, you had one shot in there that really skewed the numbers quite a bit on the first round, but still it happened. So yeah, moving right along. So there you go, fun stuff. I expected better performance out of the federal gold medal match. Really, I was hoping for better performance because I bought an entire brick of these things not long ago. Hadn't been able to find them for a while, and then I found some locally. I think Cabela's got in a whole brick. Had them on the shelf, so I went ahead and bought them. So I've got a ton of these things. So that's why I was really hoping that these would perform much better than they have in 2 rounds so far. Up next, the Federal Small Rifle 205. That's that one there. That one actually was the best performer in the first round with a group of .451. This group is measured just over an inch at 1.041 inches on the 5 shots. So let's see here. We'll double check. All right, so our average velocity with those was 2309, and we had an extreme spread of 59. Much better standard deviation. Actually, I think that one had the best standard deviation out of the 4 in round 2. So that one had a 21.4 standard deviation. Extreme spread of 59 feet per second. So consistency was much better, but our velocity was down. We had one that showed 2283. So we had 2283, 2304, 2305, 2315, and 2342. So that just kind of that extreme spread there from the first to the 5th shot. The first shot was the fastest at 2342, and the 5th shot was the slowest at 2283. That kind of killed it because right there in the middle, I mean, very consistent, 2304, 2305, and 2315. So that was the round 2 numbers, and then we compare that to round 1. Round 1 we were at 2366 So a little bit faster average velocity in round one. Extreme spread of 59, you know, again. So extreme spread was the same in both rounds. Standard deviation was pretty consistent. It was 21 in the second round. It was 25 in the first round. So not too bad. It was one of our better overall performances in terms of standard deviation and all that fun stuff. Oh, excuse me. So not bad. Pretty good performer. Oh, excuse me. Pretty good performer. Next up, the CCI. That guy right there. That's the CCI Small Rifle 400. This is just their standard small rifle primer, and that one in the first round the group size was .507, so right at a ½ inch. This one was .984, just under an inch. Came in just under an inch. So average velocity was 23.46, so a little bit higher average velocity than the first two. Extreme spread of 84 though, so big difference in our speed there. We got all the way down to, we had 2 shots out of the 5 that registered 22.98. So you had those 2 that really, you know, kind of jacked everything up, because the other 3 were right there together. You had, the first shot was at 23.82, and then shots 3 and 4 were at 23.78 and 23.76. So I mean, that would have been some pretty impressive spread and standard deviation numbers. You know, if it hadn't been for the second and fifth shot, they both came in at 22.98. So, but other than that, standard deviation 44, extreme spread of 84. So there you go. Nothing really to write home about on that one. And then the last one, the Winchester small rifle. Well, I probably could have told you how on the CCI, the 400s, how it compared in the first round. It was a little bit slower on the average velocity this go around, again because of the 2 shots at 22.98. But in the first round, it averaged 24.20. So yeah, average 24.20 with extreme spread of 64. So this go around a lot slower. You know, in the first round we were at 24.20. This round we're 23.46. So let's see. On the Winchester side of things, that'd be this last group here. And again, don't look at these 2. Just look at those 5. Group size was the largest out of the 4 in round 2. It was 1.385 inches. And again, same song and dance. Winchester had one of the better performances in terms of velocity is concerned. So we had basically on average, it's 100 feet per second faster than the other 3 primers in round 2. So if you're kind of looking more of that range out of these 4 primers, right, that made it to round 2, it had the highest average velocity. It was at 24.42, about 100 feet per second faster than the next highest average velocity. So, and that kind of carried over from round 1. Round 1, it was the 3rd highest in velocity out of the 8 that we tested. It only got beat out by the Remingtons. So there you go. But problem there, I had 1 error out of the 5, so 1 didn't read on the chronographs. I only had 4 shots worth of data. Extreme spread of 103, standard deviation of 44.7. So there we go. Yeah, worst group overall in the 4, but again 1.385 inches. Yeah, I don't, depends on your version of good, I guess. But for me, I expect to shoot ½ inch or better out of this rifle, knowing what I've shot out of it and how it's performed in the past. Every time I go to the range, I just expect to shoot 5-shot groups, ½ inch or better. Those expectations might not be that, they might be a little too high, but whatever. So there we go. That's round 2. Yeah, I'm thinking I might do a round 3. I don't really know. Kind of out of these two, rounds, it's still not 100%. You know, there's no clear cut. Hey, this is the winner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't. There wasn't any super awesome performance. Now, group size again. I'll take the group size blame. Could have shot better, but just didn't. So I'm thinking we may have to load up another round of these. Probably won't load the Winchesters. I'm thinking maybe we'll narrow it down to, we'll do the federal gold medal match, the normal federal small rifle 205s, and the CCI 400s. I'm thinking we'll go with 3 in the next round, load those up and see how they perform. So, but there you go. There's the latest round of results, round 2. No clear-cut winner yet, in my opinion. So we're gonna keep at it. And again, the load on this is 21.5 grains of benchmark. That's what it's been. That's been my consistent load for quite a while, using this 69 grain bullet. So, and a big shout out to Mr. Big Guns, local gun store here in Huntsville, Alabama. They actually supplied the primers in this video. I mean, they didn't give them to me, I bought them, but that's where I got them. That's where I got all the primers for this video, was over there. So Matt and his staff, they do a great job. Really good folks. So highly recommend, you know, if you're in this area or traveling through this area, then by all means go check them out. They got a really good selection when it comes to reloading stuff, especially powder. I can drive 10 minutes down the road and be at his store, and they've got one of the better selections on powder that you'll find locally. I think I'd have to drive to Coleman, which is about an hour away from me, to get a better powder selection. And if I can just drive 10 minutes, man, that's super awesome. So there you go. Merry Christmas, everybody. My daughter says Merry Christmas. Yeah, so just be on the lookout for the next video for part 5. I think we'll do part 5. We'll try to hammer down a sure winner through data. We'll keep shooting until we can come up with a clear-cut winner that provides good, consistent groups, tight groups, and good, consistent numbers in terms of standard deviation and all that. Right? I mean, right now, if I had to just pick one, I mean, probably the Federal Small Rifle 205s. I mean, so far in 2 rounds, it's provided the best standard deviation numbers, the best group in round 1, not a bad group in round 2. So I mean, right now, if I just had to pick one, it'd probably be that one. So, but we're gonna keep going with this thing. We'll go to round 3 on the results testing. So y'all just stay tuned for that. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Have a great day.